America's greatest natural disaster survivors. Introduction. When the enemy had no face. America has faced wars, economic collapse, terror, and tragedy. But sometimes the enemy did not wear a uniform. It did not speak. It did not negotiate. It came as wind, as water, as fire, as shaking ground beneath our feet. Natural disasters do not care who you are. They don't ask about your dreams, your faith, or your family. They arrive suddenly, and in minutes they can take everything. This is not the story of storms, earthquakes, or fires. This is the story of the people who survived them. Chapter 1. When America realized nature can destroy everything. For many Americans, disasters don't feel real until they happen to them, until the sky turns black at noon, until water climbs the stairs, until fire moves faster than a car, until the ground itself begins to roar. In those moments, money doesn't matter, status doesn't matter, politics don't matter. Only survival does. And across American history, millions have faced that moment and lived to tell the story. Chapter 2. Hurricane Katrina. We were left behind. August 2005, New Orleans, Louisiana. When Hurricane Katrina made landfall, many believed the worst was over. They were wrong. The levees failed. Water rushed into the city like an unstoppable force, flooding homes, hospitals, and neighborhoods that had existed for generations. Families climbed onto rooftops with nothing but clothes on their backs. Parents held children above rising water. Elderly residents waited in wheelchairs, praying someone would come. For days, help felt far away. One survivor later said, "The water didn't scare me as much as the feeling that nobody was coming." People survived on canned food, rainwater, and hope. Neighbors rescued neighbors with small boats. Strangers carried each other through flooded streets. Entire communities were destroyed, but something else was revealed. In the middle of chaos, people chose compassion. They shared food, they shared shelter, they shared strength. And when the water finally receded, survivors returned to ruins and began again. Chapter 4. The Great San Francisco Earthquake of 1906. April 18, 1906. Before sunrise, the ground beneath San Francisco began to move. Buildings collapsed, streets cracked open, fires burned uncontrollably for days. More than 250,000 people were left homeless, nearly half the city. Yet survivors did not flee forever. They cooked meals in parks, they shared tents and blankets, they helped strangers without asking questions. From ashes and rubble, San Francisco rose again. It became a symbol of resilience, proof that even when the earth itself turns against you, people can still rebuild. Chapter 5. Wildfires, running from a wall of flames. In the American West, fire moves fast, too fast. Entire towns in California were given minutes to evacuate. Cars melted on highways. Neighborhoods disappeared overnight. One woman escaped with nothing but her dog. One man ran back into the flames to warn neighbors. Families watched their homes burn from miles away. Fire does not knock, it does not wait, but survivors did what Americans have always done. They returned, they cleared the ashes, they rebuilt with scars and determination. Chapter 6. The Texas Freeze, when cold became the enemy. February 2021. Texas faced something it was not prepared for: extreme cold. Power grids failed, water froze, homes became iceboxes. Families burned furniture to stay warm. Hospitals struggled to function. People slept in cars for heat. And yet, neighbors opened doors to strangers, shared generators, saved lives. In a disaster defined by cold, humanity brought warmth.
Chapter 7. Floods, Storms, and Small Towns that Refuse to Disappear. From Midwest floods to Appalachian storms, small American towns have faced devastation again and again. Main streets underwater, farms destroyed, livelihoods washed away. But what follows disaster is often something powerful: community. Churches became shelters, schools became kitchens, volunteers arrived from across the country. In the darkest moments, Americans showed up for one another.
Chapter 8. The Real Heroes. Ordinary People. The heroes of natural disasters are rarely famous. They are parents, teenagers, teachers, truck drivers. They carry strangers through floodwaters. They share their last meal. They refuse to leave someone behind. They don't call themselves brave. They say, anyone would have done the same. But history remembers them as survivors. Chapter 9. What Survivors Teach Us. Survivors don't talk about strength. They talk about fear, loss, and gratitude for another sunrise. They know how quickly life can change and how fragile comfort truly is. Disasters take homes. They take memories. They take loved ones. But they also reveal something powerful: human resilience. Conclusion: America is its survivors. Storms will come again. The ground will shake again. Fire will burn again. But so will courage. So will kindness. So will hope. America is not defined by disasters. America is defined by how its people rise after them, by the survivors who refuse to give up, by communities that rebuilt from nothing, by ordinary people who became extraordinary simply by choosing to live. America is not its storms. America is its survivors.